Hello, welcome back to the Jen Show. And don't forget about Bellatrix right here. It's finally April already. I don't know how it's already the 4th month of the year. Couple of things. I finally got new glasses. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but I have glasses that I need for reading mostly and gaming. So that's one update. The second update, I bet you're probably not surprised, I did rearrange my room again. And just like last time, I like this setup a little bit. We'll see how long this takes, but you get gaming set up here, and then that is the plant that Bellatrix had knocked over, and it's taking pretty good. I have a little arrow garden going on, growing some tomato plants and a couple others as well. And then I have my little garden with a bookshelf next to it. And then a little art setup that I have. That is my new little setup that I have for my little space here. Besides new glasses, and rearranging my room again for like the 100th time this year. There isn't really too much to update on. I haven't really done much since the last update video. So besides working on, as you saw, a sneak peek of a very large painting, or if you had seen my last short, besides working on that painting and working on my second channel that I have, it used to be called It's Whatever, right? And now it's the Jen Show 2. I am working in the process, still in the process. I'm very, very slow creating content, obviously. Otherwise, the last month was both interesting and there isn't much to update on in the last month since the last update, except for things are interesting or getting interesting out there. Besides the new glasses, rearranging a room, working on a couple art projects, as you saw, working on my second channel. There isn't really much to update on, so I am probably just going to squeeze in what I had read in the month of March and what my plans are for the month of April. It's already the 7 days into the month and I've accomplished one, but I have started a couple of books. Started them at the end of March. I'm still working on them today. How many books did I actually read in the month of March? First, I think I mentioned this in the last book video of how there was 6 challenges. Yeah, there were 6 challenges and their community favorites challenge. I did actually read a book in every category. Buzzy books, epic quests, Era Explorer, Essential Reader, Sweet and Spicy, and Her Story. I have accomplished every single one of those challenges, which is super exciting. And I am 3 books behind, this year so far, up to date. I've read 2 books in the month of April. We have 2 books now in the month of April. Okay, so the month of March, I read 7 books, and I did one, I think I mentioned this in the last video, of the subtle art of not giving a fuck journal. So that would be 8. So 7 actual books and 1 workbook. I'm still counting it. The books I read in the month of March is On Doubling Street. I think I briefly mentioned this in the last video. It was very predictable halfway through. I read Hellbent. That is the second book that to the 9th house that I read in February, The Nightingale. This one has been floating around in my Libby app for over a year, and I finally just like finished it. Looking for Jane. This one, some of these are from the similar era, between the 1920s to the 1940s. It's kind of my favorite time period. I'm not too sure why, but Looking for Jane, The Rose Coat, and then these last two books that I read in the month of March is One of Us Knows. This is one of those books where I personally wouldn't have picked up by myself. This is one of the books that are in the extra challenges from I think January to like April 30th. And at first I was just reading it to read it, and then I got like super hooked. And it's really interesting. Basically, this book is about a girl who has DID, and she lands a job on an island. It turns into like a murder mystery kind of book, and she has to find a way to figure herself out and at the same time prove that she's being framed for murder, and she has to prove that she didn't do it, and nobody really believes her since she does have DID. Basically, yeah, that's basically the book. And it turned out to be like really, really good. I have read other books like this, like murder mystery books. I usually get like so annoyed with them because I just want to know like the ending. And the next one I read is called, the 8th book I read is called Lights Out. It's a spicy romance book. It's kind of similar to 50 Shades of Grey, but like not, it's better. The Narcissism. The month of April, I already read 2 books. They are Light Art and Stop Overthinking. 23 techniques to relieve stress, stop navigating spirals, declutter your mind, and focus on the present. Those are the 2 books that I have read so far in the month of April. My plan for the month of April, my to be read list has grown by 3 more books. In the challenge, like the extra challenges for the like winter spring kind of season, there was another book called One Dark Window. I had purchased the book I think a couple weeks ago. I'm hoping to get into that book this month. And then the other one, I went to the bookstore. So the 3rd book that I purchased was The Party, and the 4th book I purchased is Afterlife. I'm excited to get into those books. I have 4 currently started books in my Goodreads. The Middle Finger Project. I've had this one on my to be read list for like years now, and I finally got my hands on the audiobook version of it in Audible. Other one that's in my currently reading is What I Mean When I Say I'm Autistic, Unpuzzling a Life on Autism Spectrum. Chicken Soup for the Soul, Love Stories, Stories of First Dates, Soulmates, and Everlasting Love. And the 4th book that I'm currently reading is The Hunger Habit. Why we eat when we're not hungry and how to stop. I'm always interested, not that I have like any of these problems, but I'm always fascinated and interested in learning as well. not just reading storybooks, but I'm also love reading about like self-help books and books that help me learn about. Sorry if I'm just rambling on today. And the other books that I do want to read are the book, like the pile of books that I had mentioned in my last video. Otherwise, that is all that I have for today. I do have Patreon. There is like 3 or 4 tiers, so one for art, book clubs, and writing. I do have a second channel, the the.jenshow too, if you want to go check that out. I haven't had a chance to upload a new video to there yet, but it should be coming soon. Otherwise, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for the next video. I'll see you later. Bye.